What the fuck they got going on out west? Not out west Chicago, the west side of motherfucking London. Yeah, y'all don't know they be getting wild everywhere out west. It ain't just in Chicago. Every out west get Chicago. Well, no, get wild. That shit never makes sense what the fuck I just said. Just scratch that shit out, bro. Forget I said that.
In recent years, we have seen the popularization of UK drill and rap within West London, with rappers like Digga D, Central C, and Fredo blowing up in the scene and
I ain't gonna cap. I know about Central C. I know about Digga D. Why is they making these names though? Central C, Digga D, where Alpha A? Like, come on now, they're just going off the alphabet. The
creating waves
alphabet.
throughout the drill scene. West London is often stereotyped to be a very wealthy side of London, with some news pages.
Damn, bro. So out west, nice out there, bro. Out west, nice out there. I did not know that. I just assumed that out west was one of the baddest parts in motherfucking London because out west, shit, the west side, just the west side. I ain't gonna bap to you.
Is even claiming it's the wealthiest part of England. However, what a lot of people are unaware of is the ongoing war between two street gangs, these being 156 and Rayners Lane. 156 is a gang alliance based around Southall, UB1, Northolt, UB5, and Greenford, UB6. The gang is based around several estates within these areas, including the Racecourse Estate, the Golf Links Estate, and the Medlar Farm Estate.
I ain't gonna cap to you. Them projects look like those is like bad projects, but some of the other projects I seen did look worse than this. I don't even see no graffiti nowhere.
156 gang is made up of 3 sets, these being RCG, 6 gang, and 1 side. In recent years, we have seen the split within 156, resulting in many of the members starting to actively beef each other, which is crazy considering they were all friends. However, I'll explain the split later on in the video. Anyways, 156 has a rivalry with nearby CGM, Purple Haze, and West Drayton, and is allied with 12 Anti and AGB located in Camden. However, in this video, I'll be explaining the beef between 156 and Rayners Lane. Rayners Lane is a large street gang based around Rayners Lane and the Apple Grove Estates within South.
Bro, I ain't gonna cap to you. That's a nice little project. I ain't gonna bap. If I seen this shit and like say if I was moving to the UK, right? And someone just said, "Oh yeah, they got these bitches for rent." My ass would have most definitely moved into these motherfuckers' house looking. I ain't gonna cap to you.
South Harrow. The gang takes up the HA2 postcode. They also go by the name FLB, or Fast Lane Boys. They beef 156, 9th Street, and 12 Anti. Rayners Lane are allied with CGM, South Acton, and nearby Hayes, who also have a rivalry with 156. Rayners Lane have a few rappers, including Breezo, Sizz, and Risky, who aren't that.
Bro, this big buff ass nigga, bro. You see this nigga right here? Yeah, bro. Those the type of niggas you gotta shoot, bro. Like it ain't no fighting this nigga. It ain't no, oh yeah, I'm finna try to stab this nigga. It's straight bullets to this nigga, bro. I'm not finna, bro. Hell no, bro. That big overly buff ass boy, man. I'm not. Then look at these skinny ass niggas compared to this nigga, bro. Hell no, bro.
Consistent in the scene, although they do have a few UK drill bangers. Whilst it's
with
largely unknown why 156 and Rayners Lane started to beef, it is speculated that young members of both sides have had issues with each other since the early 2010s. However, the beef would escalate after a Rayners Lane younger would get with a girl from Greenford, based around 156 territory.
Over a hoe? Niggas be getting tender over these bitches, bro. Lots of niggas die over coochie, bro. It's crazy, bro. These niggas be tweaking over these hoes.
Which is often how gang beefs start. Whilst this information is quite unreliable, this is the only thing I could find. If you know anything else, drop it in the comments. Anyways, the beef between these two gangs wouldn't be that active until 2017. Before 2017, tit-for-tat incidents would play out between these gangs, with a popular 156 member named T-Wiz applying major pressure to all.
I know a nigga named T-Wiz, but you don't spell his name like that. It's T and then the Wiz with just one Z.
Of his ops around this time. One of these incidents would be when T-Wiz would spot Rayners Lane member T-Rose, and a fight would ensue between them, with T-Wiz beating up T-Rose badly. And only a few days later, Rayners Lane member T-Rose would look for retaliation.
Bro, he lucky he ain't die that day, bro. He ain't gonna die in the act, bro. Cause nowadays, bro, you just can't be going finding niggas, bro. You whoop a nigga ass, bro. You whoop the wrong nigga ass, your ass gonna die trying to whoop that nigga ass. His ass got lucky that nigga ain't had that shit up on him.
with the following incident exploding the beef into a full-on war. On the 11th of April 2017, T-Wiz, who repped N-Gang within 156, would be walking outside of his home when two members of Rayners Lane, including T-Rose, would spot him. T-Rose and the other member would chase T-Wiz. T-Wiz was heard shouting, "Back the Ramsey," to nearby friends. However, he would be cornered off in an alleyway by the opposition members. T-Rose...
Nigga, I ain't gonna cap to you, gang. You gotta know your areas and your locations and shit, my nigga. Like in the UK, bro, when niggas really chasing you, trying to cut you up and shit, bro, and you really gotta run for your life out there, bro. Y'all gotta have this shit mapped out. You gotta know where you running, bro. You can't get motherfucking blocked off in an alley and shit, nigga. That you cook now. You cook, bro. I ain't gonna cap to you, bro. Y'all gotta be more sophisticated with this shit, bro. Y'all can't be out here just gangbanging mindlessly.
Would stab T-Wiz with a large Rambo knife. This injury would result in T-Wiz's intestines falling out due to the stab wound.
That's why I said this UK shit get a little bit too gruesome for me, bro. That's why I ain't trying to gangbang in the UK, bro, because I don't want my intestines cut out like it's Mortal Kombat and shit. Y'all doing a little bit too cool. Listen, Birdie, this is not Mortal Kombat, bro. Cool out, nigga, you crazy. You crazy. I ain't gonna cap to you.
The two Rayners Lane members would flee the scene following the attack, and police and emergency services would be called to the scene. T-Wiz's brother would attempt to drag him to safety. However, he would sadly be pronounced dead on the scene shortly after the attack. A murder investigation would be launched following this, with both of the teens being arrested shortly after. However, during their court trial, both teens would be acquitted of the charges and would be released. This would include T-Rose. Rest in peace, T-Wiz.
Damn, bro. And this nigga got his intestines cut out his body because he wanted to whoop a nigga ass. So what this tell y'all niggas about trying to fight a nigga? You try to fight a nigga, bro, you might get your intestines cut out in the UK. So learn to keep your fucking hands to yourself, my niggas. And if you don't want to keep your hands to yourself, you better keep that weapon on you, bro. Because they doing Mortal Kombat ass shit out here, bro. Nigga, once my intestines fall out, bro, I gave up on life. I ain't gonna lie to you. If I hear about niggas getting their intestines cut out, that's all I need to hear. I'm not gangbanging. That's all I need to hear right there, bro. Now, if niggas was doing this shit in America, bro, I'd be like, hell no. Y'all niggas need to go to the mental insane hospital. Get the fuck on, bro. Y'all doing a little bit too much now. Go to Mexico.
Following the death of T-Wiz, we would see the first instances of censorship within drill, as CGM, or better known as 1011 at the time, would mock the death of T-Wiz in pretty much every drill track they made at the time. The disrespect would get so bad that 1011 would be issued an ASBO and censorship on drill music, stopping them from naming any rivals and areas. However, this was too late, as in 2017, 1011 would blow in the scene and get millions of views with their rude bars, with rappers like Horrid One and Digga D blowing up around this time. Members of 156 would be grieving the loss of T-Wiz, with prominent member Nito MB even having made a tribute song to T-Wiz, which was unreleased and leaked. It's clear that T-Wiz had a huge impact on 156, with popular member Workrate even rapping that T-Wiz taught him how to stab ops in an old song from 2017.
I man, that game way too strong. Come on, was taught by T-Wiz way too strong.
So niggas be teaching. So how do niggas teach a nigga how to stab, bro? Niggas really, so it's really techniques and shit to stabbing niggas. This is what I mean by y'all got level 100 duelers in UK, and it's like level 10. It's like levels to this shit out here, bro. Because I thought the only thing you had to do is just stick the knife in the motherfucker. I didn't think it was no real technique into stabbing motherfuckers. You just stick it into them, bro. That's all you gotta do. But you see, that's what I'm saying. It's levels to this shit. This is why I'm finding out with this UK shit. You feel me? There's levels to this knife shit. Some people ain't max prestige duelers out here.
Following the death of T-Wiz, T-Rose, who was his killer, would release a song titled No Lies, where he would recreate the death of T-Wiz in the music video, and would add a K onto the 156 gang.
Damn.
Whilst it seemed that 156 weren't looking to retaliate just yet, stabbings and shootings still continued to play out between both sides, with countless scoreboard videos being uploaded to YouTube surrounding the beef. It would be around 6 months later that 156 would lose another member to the violence.
Damn, another nigga.
On the 18th of November 2017, a member of 156 named Jay, who was close to T-Wiz and even rode out onto Rayners Lane territory with T-Wiz, would be out drinking out with his friends in Northolt. What Jay didn't know is that a Rayners Lane member named Jojo, or Suspect, who was housed in Ilford, East London.
Oh yeah. This nigga, Jojo, Suspect. Folks says most definitely a suspect for sure. His ass be committed crimes. Look at this nigga. If I would have seen this nigga, bro, on the streets, I'd be like, oh yeah, this nigga probably trying to go do some illegal shit with his life. And it's fucked up to say some niggas just look like they finna commit a crime. You just one of them niggas. I don't know why. What make you look like you finna commit a crime, my nigga? But it look like you commit crimes. You came out the room committing crimes. Your ass was a newborn baby stealing equipment from the motherfucking hospital.
London by police, would travel from Ilford all the way to Rayners Lane through the Tube. Jojo would meet up with 3 other Rayners Lane members and would plan to ride out that night. The members would use 2 different mopeds and ride out looking for 156 members. They would spot Jay walking with 2 of his friends back from a night out. The members would hop off the bikes and would start chasing Jay. Jay would be separated from his friends and start knocking on people's doors. However, sadly, no one would be able to help him, and he would be stabbed multiple times by the members.
Nigga, you thought niggas was just finna come help your ass, bro. You thought niggas was going, I ain't gonna cap to you. A nigga knock on my door talking about, help, they trying to kill me. I'm not opening up that door. I'm gonna be like, hey, bro, get the fuck on, bro. I ain't trying to have that shit happen on my property, bro. You gotta die on someone else's property, gang. Before I damn near had to blick your ass down, bro. I ain't gonna cap to you over here bringing this bullshit to my house, bro. You bringing these niggas over to my house, bro. Nah, bro, your ass better move the fuck around, bro. I ain't gonna cap to you.
The Rayners members would flee following the attack, and Jay would sadly be pronounced dead on the scene. A murder investigation would be launched following this, with Jojo being the only member arrested. Jojo would go on to be found guilty of the murder and would be sentenced to life with a minimum of 20 years.
You see, shit, I knew the judge was gonna get on Jojo ass. That the judge took one look at Jojo and be like, Jojo, your ass is going to jail. Yep.
Rest in peace, Jay. Whilst Jay's involvement in the beef is often debated, what is known is that he would often be pictured throwing K's onto the Rayners Lane sign being an L. Jay would also be close with other 156 members being Workrate and T-Wiz, with Workrate even paying homage to him in his drill tracks in the following years. After the death of Jay, a member of 156 named Nito NB would start to drop music. At the end of 2017, he would drop a Mad About Bars, which would blow up and would gain Nito a lot of new fans starting to notice 156. This song would put 156 on the map, with Nito NB responding to 1011's disses towards T-Wiz. However, it would be 2018 that we would see 156 also blow up in the drill scene. In May 2018, Nito NB would drop a song titled Rise and Tan, which would blow up and currently sits on 12 million streams. Recently, the original music video was taken down from YouTube. However, re-uploads still do exist. Nito NB wouldn't.
I ain't gonna cap to you. I feel like y'all UK artists probably would be bigger in America if England or UK, whatever the fuck you want to call it, wasn't such a dick eaters, bro. Like, I don't know what the fuck the police got going on with motherfucking being a dick eater and motherfucking trying to motherfucking fuck up the world, bro. But if niggas want to promote kill a nigga, stab a nigga, shoot a nigga, let them niggas do that shit. This is why America is the best country in the world, because niggas could go talk about killing niggas, stabbing niggas all they want, bro. And you could, and they gonna get paid millions of dollars for this shit, bro. But then the UK want to be on that dick eating shit. No, we can't have that shit. It's bad for the people. Nigga, it's not bad for the people. If the people out here doing bad because they listen to the fucking music, bro, they was already a fucked up individual from the start. Don't try to blame that shit on the music, bro. Because I could listen to this shit right now. Nigga could talk about stabbing niggas, shooting niggas, cutting niggas. And I'm not finna go out there and do that shit because I heard these niggas do it. Nah. The other niggas, they go do that shit. It's not the music fault. It's them niggas. They want to do that shit. Don't blame it on the music, bro. Y'all stopping niggas' growth. Because listen, niggas can't grow and go to America if y'all UK niggas, the UK is trying to make y'all have this little image. They want y'all to look like this peaceful ass place. And it shit don't go wrong in UK. That's what the image they want to have out and give out to the American motherfuckers. So they ain't trying to let us know about this shit. The UK officials, whoever the fuck run that shit, they don't want America to know about this shit that y'all got going on game. That's why they shutting all that shit down. They is not trying to let this shit touch to America. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's why they only let Central C go. Because Central C ain't doing all that talking about all this bullshit. And Central C is, the nigga do it so smooth, we don't even know he doing it. We outright look at these niggas gangbanging. Central C look like, oh, We like he actually give y'all a good image for rappers. Like, damn, this what y'all rappers be doing. They ain't that bad after all. But that's what they want us to think, that y'all rappers is all like Central C.
Stop there, and in July he would release a Lightwork freestyle. This was his second release of the year and would gain loads of attention, and around 2021 we would see this song blow up on TikTok, gaining millions of new views. With the song currently sitting on 38 million views, Nito NB would pretty much be on top of the drill scene, whilst a lot of CGM members were in jail like Digga D, who had previously taken over. 2018 would be a good year for 156 musically, and in 2019 we would see younger members of 156 also starting to rap. On the 9th of June 2019, a song would be uploaded to Mixtape Madness titled Real Life, which would be a sly diss to Rainer's Lane, as Rainer's Lane abbreviated is RL. This track would feature Nito NB along with two younger members, named Workrate and Absav. Absav was from Northolt, which was based within the UB5 postcode, and Workrate was from Greenford, based within the UB6 postcode. Now this song was rude, with the rappers dissing Rainer's Lane affiliates and members loads. However, during the blow-up of 156, sadly another member of 156 would fall victim to the streets. On the 23rd of September 2019, a member of 156 named Chaos, who had even previously rapped alongside Nito NB on unreleased tracks. Anyways, Chaos would approach people who were his friends, these being Purple Haze member Smiley. Smiley and Chaos would have a conversation with each other outside of a juice bar within Southall. The conversation would get heated, with Smiley and Chaos starting to fight each other. Smiley would produce a knife and stab Chaos once. Chaos would start to run. However, Smiley and other members would begin to chase Chaos. They would catch up and stab him multiple times.
Nigga, hell nah, bro. First of all, bro, those not your real homies if an argument make them stab you. Second off, nigga, how the fuck you got the name Chaos and you don't got no weapon up on you, bro? I'm assuming, yo, I off the rip, I thought your name was Chaos because you be causing chaos, bro. I thought you was gonna be the nigga cutting niggas up. But instead, the nigga cut you and you running. Like I ain't gonna cap to you. That name right there, bro, is very deceiving, bro. Names is deceiving, bro. I ain't gonna cap to you. I thought Chaos was gonna be doing that chaos shit.
Times, with him sustaining a wound to the chest and neck. The killers would flee following the attack. And
damn, not the boy Chaos. Yeah, my nigga. I ain't gonna cap to you, bro. With that type of name, bro, you gotta have weapons up on you, bro. You can't have that nickname and not have no weapons up on you, bro. You gotta have that bitch 24/7 with your name being Chaos.
Emergency services would be called to the scene. Chaos would sadly be pronounced dead around an hour after the attack, with nearby witnesses even recording Chaos on the floor. However, this footage is way too graphic to even talk about here.
Damn.
3 men, including Smiley, would be arrested shortly after the murder and would all be found guilty for the incident. Rest in peace, Chaos. 2020 would begin and look promising for 156. However, tit-for-tat incidents would still occur. In May, a 156 member named Rifty would catch and shoot at a Rainer's Lane member named Brizo in a kebab shop. This incident would be captured on CCTV. However, luckily no one was injured, with the bullets missing. Anyways, 156 would drop a few cold songs in 2020. This included a full-on diss track to all of their ops titled L's Down, with the entire song being a diss to ops including Rainer's Lane, CGM, and West Drayton. This song would gain a lot of attention in the scene, with the song currently sitting on over 4 million streams. The song would feature rappers Nito NB, Workrate, Absav, and Mad Max. It would be around this time that T Rose, who we previously talked about, would be in jail for an unrelated incident. Following the release of L's Down, Rainer's Lane members including Sizz, Risky, and Brizo would link up and drop a direct response track titled L's Up, in which they would use the same beat and respond to the 156 song. The Rainer's members would diss Jay, Chaos, and T-Wiz in this song. They would also reference incidents within the streets.
Bro, they love dissing that nigga T-Wiz, bro. Cause you know, like, every gang and rappers got like they favorite ops, like they just love to diss. Everybody got their favorite op that they like, man. Any opportunity they get, they gonna diss the nigga. And from the looks of it, T-Wiz is that nigga for them. They just love to diss that nigga. Any opportunity they can, they is gonna diss T-Wiz.
Between the two sides. Around a month after the release of L's Down and L's Up, on the 29th of August 2020, T-Rose would be released from jail, and it would be looking as if he was ready to drop music, with him even dropping a preview to a song on the 9th of October 2020. However, what no one was expecting was that 4 days later, one of the bloodiest days would occur within the beef, resulting in 2 people dying as a result of the war.
person who was killed in this incident was rapper T-Rose from Rayners Lane.
On the 13th of October, T. Rose, who had moved from West London all the way to Telford over 2 hours away, would be standing near a business car park. At around 12 p.m., a car full of 156 members would ride up to T. Rose. They would lean out of the car and shoot him 6 times. Police.
Damn, I ain't gonna cap to you, but if a nigga driving 2 hours away to get you, bro, shit, I know they got some guns and shit playing to fuck you up because, boy, why the fuck your ass is going I would think, bro, 2 hours away, that nigga is good. That nigga don't gotta worry no more. I don't think no, but then also they said Lil Durk went out of Cali and shit to get them niggas, so I guess 2 hours ain't that far. If you a nigga like Lil Durk and shit, I ain't gonna back to you.
Police and ambulances would be called to the scene. However, despite their best attempts at saving T. Rose, he would sadly be pronounced dead on the scene, with the killers fleeing. Now, police couldn't connect anyone to the murder of T. Rose, until recently when a mugshot of a man wanted for suspicion of murder named Ahmed Karshe, who is still on the run, and has even been labeled one of the most wanted men within the UK.
Who the fuck is this nigga? This nigga don't even look like he's supposed to be gangbanging, bro. His ass just look like he a part-time gangbanger. On gang, he do this shit on the weekends.
Rest in peace, T. Rose. Around 10 hours later, at 10 p.m., 156 members wouldn't stop there and would ride out looking for ops. They would ride out around Hayes Town Center and would spot a Purple Haze member named Shaq. The members of 156 would shoot Shaq multiple times and then flee in the car that they used to ride out, which
damn, bro, not Shaq.
They then burned streets away. Police and ambulances would be called to the scene following the shooting, and a 15-year-old girl and other bystanders would attempt to save Shaq's life. However, despite their best attempts, Shaq would be pronounced dead on the scene. A murder investigation would be launched following this, seeing 4 156 members being arrested for the murder. This included a 13-year-old boy who was charged for the shooting and murder.
Bro, what? I ain't gonna cap to you. Them older niggas like to have them little 13-year-old boys around gangbanging doing the killing because they be liking to throw the crime and shit on them because, you know, the little niggas, they get less time and they go more easy on them because they juveniles and shit. It be fucked up how them older niggas be fucking up these young niggas' lives. That shit be crazy as hell. Them niggas be like, yeah, bro, you ain't gonna do as much time as me, so it's not gonna fuck up your life. But that shit still gonna fuck up their life, just not as bad as you. But it's probably fucking up their life more because you had your opportunity to be a 13-year-old unless you let someone throw the crime on you and you got fucked up.
The 13-year-old who couldn't be named would appear in court following this. However, I couldn't find if the members were found guilty. Rest in peace, Shaq. Following the death of T-Rose and Shaq, a popular RCG member named Absav would actually be arrested on the same day T-Rose and Shaq died, with him posting a story on Instagram with the caption saying, "Soon home, get back gang." At the end of 2020, we would see 156 and AGB link up and drop a song, which was huge as both of the gangs had started to gain a massive following around this time. The rappers on this track included Absav, 60, Work Rate, Suspect, and Broad Day. And to say this song was rude would be an understatement. The track was full of disses to dead and alive opposition members. Following the release of this song, 156 would continue to drop music throughout 2021, and in the summer months of 2021, another person would be killed as a result of the beef. On the 11th of June 2021, a 15-year-old member of Rayners Lane named J-Taps would be on his way to school within Hayes. What J-Taps didn't know was that a member of 156 named Slim would also be on his way to school and would spot J-Taps. A fight would ensue between the members. However, Slim was armed with a knife and J-Taps was unarmed. However, J-Taps would try and defend himself with a traffic cone.
You see, bro. Oh yeah, they finna put that shit in the song, bro. Talking about he tried to defend himself with a traffic cone. But nah, bro, this is why they be telling motherfuckers, bro, if you gang banging, you gotta bring that weapon to school, bro. Because if your ops gang banging, you never know what your ops bringing with them. So you don't never want to be in a situation where you finding your op in school thinking, oh yeah, this nigga just got his fist like me. Then the nigga end up in a knife. You don't got shit. So now you trying to grab a little traffic cone, trying to use anything to defend your life. You feel me? That's why you just gotta ride around with that shit on you. You gotta take that bitch to school if you really gang banging, bro. Cause that might fuck you up if you don't. Cause he prepared.
Sadly, J-Taps would be stabbed multiple times by Slim, with the entire incident being recorded by a bystander. Police and ambulances would arrive on the scene moments later. However, sadly, J-Taps would be pronounced dead on the scene, with a murder investigation being launched following the incident. Slim would be arrested not long after the murder. He would be charged with the murder, and in 2022, Slim would be found guilty of manslaughter and possession of a bladed article. Slim would be sentenced to 13 years in prison, with footage of Slim even killing J-Taps being shown in court. Rest in peace, J-Taps. Over a month after—
Oh yeah, his ass was cooked. If a nigga get to showing the footage of you committing the crime in court, oh yeah, your ass is cooked for sure. I ain't gonna bap to you.
After the murder of J-Taps, Absav would be released from prison and would be fresh home. We would start to see Absav dropping songs following his release. This included songs titled Back in Style, which was his first song after being released, and Gossip to end the year. At the start of 2022, we would see Absav drop a song named Plugged Out, which was a disrespectful and hard song. UK drill fans were starting to take in Absav as he was seriously cold. However, no one was expecting what he was going to drop throughout 2022.
I digger, wake him up, wake him up.
Wake him up, wake him up. Damn,
On the
who that's supposed
22nd
to
of
be?
May 2022, a song was uploaded onto YouTube titled Tables Turn. This featured rapper Absav, who was talking real grease on this track. With him dissing every op, YouTube reactors would start to notice the rudeness of this track, which would then result in the song doing numbers. It would be taken down days after originally being uploaded due to how rude it was. However, re-uploads do exist.
Bro, because the nigga was dissing and got took down, that shit wild as hell. It's for entertainment purposes. That's all the nigga gotta say, bro. The UK like, nah, we ain't with that shit, bro. We ain't stupid niggas. Okay, but in America, that shit just for entertainment purposes, you feel me? But them niggas ain't with that shit. They ain't with none of that entertainment shit.
Absav wasn't done there, and a few days later, he would preview a song titled Tables Turn 2 on his Instagram. This song was by far the rudest song ever uploaded to the website.
Bro, why did this nigga keep on saying rude? Be like, nigga, that shit disrespectful. Folks says motherfucking diabolical. Y'all stop saying that rude shit, nigga. Nigga, what the fuck? Rude. This shit, what they doing, bro, is not rude, bro. This shit is disrespectful ass shit, bro. Rude is like, oh, that's like, man, you know, rude is like considered if someone don't hold the door from you. You feel me? You walk in, the nigga just walk in, open the door just go behind. You feel me? Bam. That's some rude shit right there. Nigga, y'all niggas, all this shit is not rude shit. This shit is disrespectful ass shit, bro. Damn, so disrespectful shit. So what is disrespectful shit if this shit ain't disrespectful? Like rude, I feel rude is like the light version of disrespectful, you feel me? It ain't really like disrespectful, it's just like, damn, kind of like fucked up a little bit.
With Absav even imitating each of his dead ops, mocking them in the process. Although these songs were insanely rude, it does make sense why he would—
That shit not rude, that shit is evil. Evil, my nigga. What the fuck? These niggas using, niggas dissing, niggas saying niggas got killed, stabbed, and they like, damn, that's rude. That's more than rude, my nigga.
would make them, as CGM and 1011 had been mocking T-Wiz for nearly half a decade prior. Anyways, Absav would make it a trilogy, and 2 weeks later would drop a third Tables Turn, which was just as rude as the previous songs. However, despite the rudeness of each of these songs, they would go viral, with Tables Turn 2 having 3 million streams, and Tables Turn 3 having just over 1.5 million streams. After this, Absav would be consistent all 2022, pretty much dropping a song every month. In 2023, we would see a divide in 156, with it being alleged Absav and Workrate had a fight at a music video shoot, causing a divide in 156. RCG and 6 Gang would start to beef following this. You may know RCG as Absav, R1, 60 and Nito NB all rep it, whilst 6 Gang was repped by Workrate. This is why we often see RCG members like Absav, R1 and 60 throwing Ks on the 6. In recent months, we would see Absav quit UK drill, as he got tired of UK drill as a genre. As a result of this, he has been experimenting with other creative avenues, which include streaming, which we have seen him do on Twitch. At the start of 2024, 60 would drop a song titled New Year's Resolution, which was a completely different style of what we normally see from 60. And I can't lie, this song was a banger. And if 60 stays focused on music and new sounds, he can definitely blow in the drill scene and maybe go commercial. If you have learned anything from this video, make sure it's to not involve—
Man, them niggas finna go gangbang after watching that video, bro. You know they is, bro. I don't know why you be adding that shit at the end, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. If you watch this video all the way through, I know your ass fucking with another motherfucking video. So go ahead and go watch another motherfucking video. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and what? Turn on post notifications so you never miss out on any content like this. Go!